Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Beth Traverso. How you doing, Beth?
Hey, doing great, Mike. Thank you so much for having me back. Always a highlight of my week to join
Oh,
you
I
here.
appreciate it. The audience loves you. I don't know if you've gone by
So
and looked at the
sweet.
comments, but yeah, they
Yeah.
just love your energy and what you bring. They like the truth that you give, even if it's something they don't want to hear. You just kind of tell it
Well,
how it is. So
that's
that's
what I
that's pretty
do.
awesome.
That's what I'm one of the things I'm here for. So, that's really sweet. I appreciate people taking time out of their days to watch and comment. And that means a lot to me. So thanks to
Awesome,
everybody.
awesome, folks. Beth is going to take a look at this video later in the day. Leave some comments below. Let her know that she's one of your favorites and all of that. So
Oh, thanks.
video number one, Beth, is always, because you are an agent, our broker, is what's going on in your market. First remind people what your market is, and let's talk about what's going on.
Right. Yeah. So I'm in the Seattle area. I'm not in Seattle proper, but Seattle area. And what I'm seeing, so boots on the ground, we see shifts before they come out in the numbers. And so every week I like to talk a little bit about what's going on because it really is different every single week. And I only know my little section of the world, I don't know everybody else's. So it's going to be different everywhere. But what I'm seeing here this week, which is interesting, is there's been there's a whole section of the market that seems to be almost missing right now in my area. And that is the middle is almost
Interesting.
non-existent.
Tell me
So,
more.
so
So
in
when you
my, so yeah,
so what I want to when you say missing, I want to make sure, is it supply or demand or both? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
supply, not there.
Interesting.
It was the opposite a few months ago. We had too much around that, too much of the middle, like the move up home. There was too many listings. Prices got depressed. People sold or pulled their listings, and there has been very little coming on the market to replace it. So what I've been seeing,
This is
yeah,
exactly what I thought would happen in most markets, because given the demand destruction, which everybody and their brother can see, right? Rates at 3, rates at 7. Everybody
yeah,
sees that. But what people don't realize is we are going to experience something we haven't seen since 1981. Mom and dad, who would normally be in the market to move up, are going to look at the numbers and say, F no, we are staying put.
yeah,
And that means two transactions are gone: the sale of a first time home to someone else, and then their move up. It's
yeah.
it's the housing market's broken. And when we lose the middle, it's broken.
Yeah. So what we have, just to give you some perspective, in my little town, now it's just my little town, but it's right outside Seattle where the people commute to Amazon and Microsoft. So it's not inconsequential for our area. But in my little town of Fall City, there's only 10 listings total in all of Fall City, and about half of them are $799 and below. And then the next one up is 2,500,000 and up. So there's about 5 or so listings up at 2.5 million or up, and about 5 or actually 4 or 5 at 799 and under. Literally nothing in between.
Now, wow, so many questions. Now, if we were to go back a year, times are great. How many listings would we have had in Fall City? Just guess.
So I have to say it was really low back then too. So it's not, this is not, it's a kind of a return to normalcy a little bit,
Okay. All right.
but it's usually there are some. What's interesting to me now is the fact that there literally aren't any. So
But what was total inventory? Like, if there's 10 today, was there, and again, a year ago, and then we'll go back to 2019 because you've been doing this a while. What were we talking a year ago?
So a year ago, boy, I'd have to pull that up, and we are such a small little corner of the world that it's going to vary a lot just because there's so few data points. But I would say
Sure.
that in normal, we might have about maybe 15 to 20.
Okay. So
So
so you're down 25% from normal.
right,
But if we go back to 2017, 2018, kind of a more normal market, where do you think we were?
yeah, there we would have probably about 25 or so. It's
Okay, that would
we don't
make
we've
sense.
yeah, and we had higher inventory in 2018. 2019 is when our inventory kind of peaked,
Mhm.
and then 2020 it did what 2020 did, where it just got
Wow.
all haywire and all
Wow.
seasonality got thrown out, and we had more pending sales, and there were homes coming on the market, et cetera, and it lasted that way for a while and got really insane. And then now it's gotten quieter, and we do have a little bit more inventory, but it's what's interesting to me is that it is more polarized.
Yeah, so
And
the middle's gone. The
Yeah.
middle is gone.
Yeah. Now,
So
I'm not going to say that all of Seattle area that's true,
no.
but just in my little area, that's what I'm seeing because that's where I'm working all the time.
Yeah, that's
Um,
so I have a question. So that's supply, right? You've got 5 at 2.5 million, you got 5 or 4 below 800. I'm actually curious now about demand because I think
mhm.
it's really weird because when you look at this supply demand picture, I actually suspect if you were going to look at the demand picture, probably most of the people calling you are looking for the middle, I would
Yeah.
guess, just with Amazon and Microsoft right down the street.
Right.
Luxury is probably pretty slow. People are nervous about their stock portfolios. They're not sure if they want to allocate to the big thing. Kind of first time home buyers, probably the most impacted by 7% interest. So now you have no supply, but you still have demand. That's a wild thing to think about.
I know. So how is that going to play out? It's like it's tug of war. What's going to end up winning remains to be seen. But I did have some buyers reach out to me this week saying we are nervous about not being able to find anything to buy. And that was the first I'd heard that in a while.
So let's play with this a little bit. So again, nothing in the middle supply. We have demand for the middle. Really, there's only 3 outcomes. One, somebody on the high end takes a massive haircut, probably not happening.
No.
2, the people get stressed out about not buying and they down select, right? They go to the smaller one and they probably bid those up. I don't know. Or somehow inventory comes from a busted Airbnb or a busted. I mean, I don't. I'm just trying to play this out. This is wild to think
Yeah, a
about.
lot of times what people do in my area, they'll go to a different surrounding area that has more
Ah,
population and more inventory. Like, well, we're not finding what we want here. This is where we really want to be, but we'll just go
yeah.
somewhere else and find something somewhere that maybe is not quite what we want, but we'll find
Okay.
something. There will be things.
Sure.
It's just
That's
interesting
interesting.
that right now we're in this interesting little point in the market where there just isn't very much. And so at the
Yeah.
same time, I am onboarding more listings now than I have since May. So in May, I
Interesting.
was extremely busy onboarding listings.
Right.
This is the same thing. So I'm doing my part. I'm going to bring some
Yep.
listings to the market that are going to be right in that middle. And
Okay.
ask me next week or the week after how those are going. It'll be an
I
interesting
will.
test to see because I've got a couple that are right exactly the type of thing that's not available right now. So I'll be
So
really
we're
curious
we're thinking like
how this.
1 ish.
Yeah,
I'm just
about
kidding.
1.2, 1.3 around that price point with a
So
little bit
again,
of a
right in
little
the
bit of
middle.
land and a nice house and a good area, you know.
It's going to be
So
wild. So you think again, not to put pressure on you, which I'm not trying to do, but you think you'll list them this week, so you'll have a weekend. So when we talk next
yeah,
Tuesday, we'll see if you have any offers. That's what we're
yeah,
hoping for.
yeah. And
Okay.
what part of what I'm doing right now is I'm managing expectations with everybody, you know. So even the best houses sometimes take a little longer. So these may sell right away or they may not. It's all right.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
awesome.
don't want to put too much pressure on anybody, you know, but I
Right.
know we're doing our part right. But yeah, I'm putting 4 on this week and 4 on next week, and that's a lot for
Oh,
me. So
well, we're going to
um
talk about that in video number 2 because
mhm.
I think one of the things that we'll just tease as we exit this video is the best of the best are going to grow while everybody else starves. And Beth, you are a top 1% agent for a reason. You are the best of the best in your market. If somebody wanted to buy or sell or just learn from you, where would they reach out to you?
Yeah, the best way to do it is through my website, bethtraversogroup.com. And if anyone's curious about how to spell my name, it's right there in the corner. So you can see it right there.
And I love how you interact with the audience on your videos. I want to call you out. I think it was 2 weeks ago. One of these no name commenters said, basically called you out saying, "Oh, you're a top agent. What'd you do last month?" And you're like, 11.9. Shut the hell up. Now, of course, you didn't say shut the hell up. That was my accent, but I was like, "You
Yeah.
go get him, Beth. You get him."
Thanks. You know, and I'm not one of those people. I generally don't drop the numbers because I think there's a lot
The
of arrogance.
scoreboard's right over there.
But if somebody's gonna like call me out like that, I'm gonna smack back a little bit
I,
nicely, nicely.
you did it nicely. I came over the top and said, "Sucker."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Beth.
Thanks.